Well, I met Scott whenever I came to apply for a job, and sat down in an interview with him, and that's when I first met him. And now 11 years later, and we're still good friends.
So I first met Scott in 2012, back when I was working at Piney Woods Country Club, and I was the manager, and he was at R&K Budweiser, and he came out there to inform me not to put Coors Light in his Budweiser cooler.
I know Robbie because I worked at the Daily Sentinel with her for years. I was managing editor and she was one of the reporters.
Well, I first met Robbie in the late 80s and the early 90s. I went to a local high school, and she was working for the Daily Sentinel, and she did the coverage for local high schools at the time.
Well, I met Scott my freshman year in college, 52 years ago, probably next week. In fact, I went to Stephen F. Austin looking for Scott because his older brother was a teacher in Texas City High School.
Well, I've known Scott all of his life because he's my little brother. And Robbie we met when Robbie and Scott were dating. And so we came to love her, and Scott made the right choice, I'll say that.
You know, they are hands-on people. They're at every event, they're at every game. Anytime you ask them to do something SFA related, they're always eager to help. Scott has never told me no when I've asked for his help from R&K for any event when I was either employed at SFA or on the Alumni Association.
If you are out at an event, you're going to see them if you look around. And they're there, and they're so proud to be there. And they're always willing to help behind the scenes. Anytime there's something to be done, they jump right in and help with it.
I can't think of anybody that is more deserving for that award. She and Scott are mainstays for the university, and they love SFA. And anywhere they're giving something, they have a football game, a softball game, something in the arts, something in dance, they're going to be there.
Just everywhere they go, he's got the school spirit. Scott and Robbie are both in their purple all the time at the events.
You could tell they were just so engaged with the community and with the school, and they were dedicated to it.
And they just are the best representatives, I think, that Stephen F. Austin could ever have hoped. And what an honor on the 100th celebration to have been selected. Can't think of two more people more deserving.
I just know that they love the university and they love the community, and they're very deserving of the award.
So Scott, thank you for being a great leader and a great mentor. And I know you're still a Bud man, so I'm going to say this Bud's for you.
Hey, Scott and Robbie, congratulations on the Lumberjack Pride Award. There's no one else more deserving than you guys. Fantastic. Just love you guys, love what you've done for this university. Axum Jacks.
Bucky, here you are again. You're doing something on behalf of the university, and you're finally getting paid for it. This is great. I can't think of any person better than you to represent SFA in any capacity. And I know that you and Scott go to all the games and all the events, and you made a life out of SFA, and we thank you.
Congratulations, Robbie and Scott. I can't think of anyone more deserving for the Lumberjack Pride Award.
Scott, Robbie, you're very deserving of this award. Debbie and I love you so much, and we can't wait to hang out with you in Nacogdoches for the rest of our lives.
Congratulations, we're so proud of you, so deserving, and we love you so very much.
Scott and Robbie, we're so proud of you guys. You've contributed so much to the university, and much more to come. Congratulations.
Scott and Robbie Goodrich, please come forward and accept your award.
Wow, what a nice introduction. Special thanks to Craig Turnage and his entire staff for all the preparation that went into the videos. I know there's so much goes on behind the scenes that we aren't aware of. You guys have just done an excellent job. Jimmy Day, I will be by to collect that Budweiser tonight. Robbie and I are very grateful for the support we've received while I presented the Lumberjack Pride Award tonight. There are several tables that we'd like to recognize filled with supporters, many of whom you saw in the videos earlier. First and foremost, our family table, comprised of our brothers and sisters and their spouses from McKinney, Henderson, Lufkin. Almost all of them went to SFA, and some of them had kids that went to SFA, and some of them had kids that married kids from SFA. So needless to say, at our family reunions, we bleed a lot of purple. Robbie's co-workers at the dean staff on the Fine Arts Department, we love you guys. You make such a wonderful working environment for Robbie. She's looking so forward to her new tenure in the Griffin Fine Arts building, and I hope everybody gets an opportunity to tour that nice facility this weekend. R&K Distributors, led by Jimmy Day, our second family for over 30 years, whose support for SFA knows no boundaries. Jimmy, between R&K Distributors, Nacogdoches, and Longview, we can count dozens of past and present lumberjacks, grads, and students. Another table full of my Delta Sig Sawyer family fraternity brothers and their spouses. Love you guys. We have been on this SFA journey for over 50 years. You instilled a sense of pride in us at an early stage for our university. We also see other tables out there filled with friends from athletics, development, Chamber of Commerce, and other award recipients. We also value your friendship, and support also. We would be remiss if we did not thank a special friend, Mr. SFA himself, Bob Sitton. Our journey with the SFA Alumni Department began in the early 80s, shortly after we were married. I was selling beer off the truck for Slits and Lone Star. Robbie was a cub reporter for the Daily Sentinel. Bob Sitton approached us trying to sell me a lifetime membership. I told him, Bob, we just trying to get our feet on the ground now. We're newly employed. I said, we just can't afford that at this point in time. Bob responded, you can't afford not to do it, Scott. So we wrote the check and never looked back. By the way, Bob, as an SFA alumni ambassador, I've used that line. It doesn't work for me. When Craig Turnage and his team, along with friends in development, our co-workers, several old fraternity brothers, arranged a surprise announcement in the alumni office back in July, we told them then that we could never imagine or even discuss being mentioned for the Lumberjack Pride Award. Robbie and I are just doing what so many of you do every single day, and that's giving back to our university, which has been so good to us, our families, and our friends. It's not difficult at all. We want to thank you all for this very special award. It means so very much to us. Axe 'em Jacks.